Okay, so this is going to be the first video in the programming basics section. For this section, I'm just going to go over some of the basic programming concepts we're going to need moving forward. I'm not going to go into them super in depth because I think a better way of learning is going to be to kind of give you a framework of what they are, and then as we go through the videos, kind of build on that as we're applying them. So you'll kind of learn more organically. And also, if you already have a moderate level of programming experience and you understand basic things like classes, functions, variables, and things like that, you can probably skip this section entirely and you won't miss out on too much. You can also just kind of skim through it just to get all the info and kind of maybe bring yourself back up to speed if you haven't programmed in a while or something like that. So let's get started. So a quick explanation of what this template is. So we have the basic game template right here. If we run this, you're going to see a couple of interesting things that the template gives us. So you see we're in the gamescene.swift file right here, and it has a couple functions. So it has did move to view and it has touches began, and also has update, but we're not going to go over that right now. So for did move to view, this is all the code that's going to get run when the screen is presented to the user. And so you can see right here, it kind of has stuff like mylabel, sklabel node. You don't really know what those are quite yet, but you can kind of guess that it's what creates this hello world label right here. And so that's just our did move to view code. Now you notice if you click, it kind of creates this spinning ship. And in the touches began method, this is what's all the code that's called anytime the user taps on the screen. And so you can see here that it kind of creates this sprite that gets an image named spaceship, and it does all this junk right here. So that's just a quick explanation of that. For now, though, we're going to actually delete that code. And for the rest of the series, we're going to delete that code. So in the did move to view function, let's just delete that. In the touches began method, let's delete that as well. So now this is going to be a very simple program. All we're going to do is we're going to call this function called print. And you see it gives us a few options here. All we want is the one that has this kind of this single parameter. And throughout these kind of summary videos, I might use some terms that you don't completely understand. I think as we go through the series, you'll kind of start picking up on the different terms. I'll try to explain them the best as possible. But when it came to programming, at least for me, it kind of like is a knowledge base that you build up over time. It's not something that I just would understand immediately and it'd be good. It was definitely like learning a new language, for instance. Anyway, so we call the print function. Within these two parentheses, we want to put the words that we want to print to our console. So in quotes, we want to say hello world. And if we run this, that's actually going to be the completion of our program. A quick explanation of the quotes. Anytime we put words in quotes, we create something called a string. And a string is just programmer talk for a sentence. So it's just a string of characters. So yeah, so now if we run this, you're going to see there's going to be this little box in the bottom that shows up, and it's going to print this hello world here to it. And the box that shows up, you can see right here, this is called the console. And the user never really sees the console. The console is generally used for debugging and kind of giving the creator of the program information about kind of building their app and kind of helping them along. So if this does not show up, you can open it up with this button right here, open and close it. Just for fun, let's also let's say print hi world, and we're going to put this in the touches began function. I think you guys probably understand this pretty well after that basic explanation, but all it's going to do is you can kind of guess what it's going to do, but if you click on the screen, it's going to print hi world. And you can see that the more you click, the more it prints. And yeah, that's a basic explanation of those two kind of initial functions there. So that's going to be it for this first video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.